In the old town of Hangzhou, where the West Lake stretched like a mirror of heaven, there lived a man named Jian. Once, he was admired for his skill as a carpenter. His hands could shape wood into bridges, temples, and even toys for children. But life, as it often does, struck him harder than he thought he could bear. A fire consumed his workshop, taking with it all his tools, savings, and unfinished work. His wife, weary of poverty, left him. His friends, unable to watch his decline, drifted away. Jian began walking through the streets with shoulders bent and eyes empty. The man who once built bridges now felt unable to cross even the smallest step in his own heart. Depression gnawed at him. Every morning, a whisper. Why rise? There's nothing left for you. The old monk. One gray afternoon, Jian wandered toward the mountains, hoping the silence of nature would numb his pain. Along the trail, he encountered an old monk sweeping fallen leaves from a stone path. The monk's robe was faded, his broom rough, yet his movements were calm, steady, almost graceful. Jian stopped. Why do you bother sweeping? He muttered bitterly. The wind will only scatter more leaves tomorrow. The monk looked up, eyes kind yet piercing. Yes, the leaves will fall again, but today this path can be clear. Why should tomorrow steal today's peace? Something in those words unsettled Jian. He almost walked away, but the monk's calm presence anchored him. Why do you look so heavy, young man? The monk asked. Jian laughed hollowly. Because my life is ash. My craft is gone. My family gone. My worth gone. Each day I wake, I see no reason to take another step. The monk leaned on his broom. Then perhaps you should come with me, not to escape your sorrow, but to walk with it. The task of stones. The monk led Jian to a half-finished bridge near the monastery. It was a simple stone crossing over a narrow stream, abandoned after floods had destroyed part of it. Each day, the monk said, I ask those who suffer to place one stone upon this bridge, not to finish it quickly, but to remind themselves they can still build. Jian frowned. What good is that? A stone a day will take years. The monk smiled. And yet years will pass whether you build or not. Would you rather let them pass empty or leave behind a bridge others can walk? The words pierced Jian's hollow chest. With trembling hands, he lifted a stone and set it down. For the first time in months, he felt a faint whisper of purpose. The slow healing day after day, Jian returned. Some mornings, depression crushed him so deeply that the thought of rising felt impossible. But he remembered the monk's words, one stone. So he placed one. Some days he placed two. Weeks passed, then months. Jian noticed changes he hadn't expected. His arms grew stronger again, his breath deeper. He began noticing the music of water beneath the bridge, the way the morning sun lit the moss on the stones. Villagers passing by saw his persistence. A farmer offered him tea. Children began to help carry pebbles. A widow brought food, saying, Your work gives me courage to face my own grief. Slowly, Jian realized he was not only building a bridge of stones, but a bridge back to life. The night of the storm. One summer night, a violent storm struck. Rain lashed the mountains, and the stream swelled into a raging torrent. Jian, terrified the unfinished bridge would be swept away, rushed out into the storm. He stood there in the downpour, watching the water crash against the stones he had laid. His heart pounded. All my work, all my struggle, it will be destroyed. The old monk appeared beside him, holding an umbrella. Jian, do not fear the storm. It may wash away your stones, but not the strength you have gained in placing them. The bridge outside is fragile. The bridge inside you cannot be swept away. At those words, Jian broke down, weeping in the rain. For the first time, his tears were not just grief, they were release. The completion years passed. Stone by stone, Jian's bridge grew. By the time it was finished, it was not just a crossing over water. It was a symbol of resilience. Travelers, merchants, and monks all used it, and they named it the Bridge of Silent Steps. Jian's depression never vanished completely. Shadows still visited his mind. But now he knew what to do. Place a stone, take a step, breathe through the storm. He reopened his craft, teaching children carpentry. His voice, once silent, became a source of guidance for others who had lost hope. The legacy. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Jian stood with the old monk on the bridge. Lanterns reflected in the water like stars scattered across the earth. "Master," Jian said, "when I first met you, I wanted to end my life. Now, though sorrow still visits me, I no longer fear it. My pain has become the ground where my strength grew." The monk nodded. "Remember, Jian, depression is not the end of your path. It is the heavy stone you learn to carry. With each step, it can either crush you or strengthen you. You have chosen to build." Jian bowed, tears of gratitude in his eyes. The teaching. Long after Jian's time, parents brought children to the bridge and told them the story of the carpenter who nearly gave up, but instead built slowly, one stone at a time. They whispered, "When life feels unbearable, do not wait for joy to return all at once. Begin with one step, one act, one stone. Even the smallest effort, repeated with patience, becomes a bridge that carries you across the darkest waters." And so, Jian's life became a teaching that depression is not weakness but weight, that persistence is stronger than despair, that even when all seems lost, a bridge can still be built, stone by stone, step by silent step.